Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome
Hi.
back. Welcome back.
Yes.
My name is Diana.
And my name is Mare.
And today we are getting into all things Potomac. Thank God this season is over. So we are going to get into the final part of this reunion and then put Potomac season 7 to bed. So stick around with us. We are going to do that right after this intro. So that's our new intro. Please let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Give us your feedback, please, because we're new at this. We are amateurs, but we'd love to know what you think about that intro.
Yeah, but it was super fun to watch it, though.
Yes.
It's nice. It's
Yay.
nice to see it.
Awesome. So let's dive in. So we had Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 reunion part 3. That's a long name there, or title. And we had quite a bit of stuff that we want to get into. But we probably won't get into them for all that long because, in my opinion, this was not all that interesting for me personally, primarily because of the reconciliation piece and the lack thereof. This probably has a lot to do with the fact that the producers know that they want to get right into Potomac pretty quickly, the season 8 filming pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't really do a lot of reconciling. Excuse me. But I would love to know, what are your thoughts on what you saw? Let's just go, I guess, piece by piece on some of the dynamics and the relationships that we want to dive into.
I mean, I'm really going to make a true comparison of Real Housewives of Potomac to Real Housewives of Miami. I spent quite a time watching Real Housewives of Miami. And when I think about Potomac, I think Potomac is at a crossroads right now where they really need to figure out what direction they want to walk in. And especially the fact that it's a direction of whether it's going to be about truth or whether it's going to be about allegation nation and just, lying, right? When I look at the entire cast of Potomac, a great majority of the cast lied about everything that happened this season. You have Mia who lied. You have Charisse who lied. You have even the Grand Dame who's lying about having the picture of Juan's girl, wherever it was, and all that stuff. And you have Giselle who lied. That's almost like half the cast who was lying about their storyline. And Robin, who's a major liar, right, of them all. And it's like the only two individuals who did not lie was Candace and Wendy.
Yeah.
Like, how is this making for a show? So for me, the dynamics and the relationships amongst these women, you guys are not friends. Miami, the women there have a relationship with each other. So that's why it's really organic, right?
Yeah.
Potomac, you guys are really showing that you are individuals that we don't like anymore. I don't even know if we even liked you guys in the beginning. I don't even know if I liked anybody in the beginning other than the individuals that were actually real, right? About who they were. So the Grand Dame and Charisse thing, I love the fact that the Grand Dame didn't pay Charisse any mind. Like, Charisse was apparently called on by Bravo to come.
I was going to say, what do you think about that? About the fact that Andy is putting this disclaimer. Did you actually watch What Happens Live? So Andy was he clarified again for the Grand Dame that, we asked Charisse to be on this season. We're the ones that called her to be on this season. And the Grand Dame said, that's fine, but who asked you to ask her? Who asked you to ask her?
That's right.
And I'm like,
why did he think that she would be good for the show anyway? Because she wasn't.
Charisse, she really should not have been on this season. I really struggle with Charisse because she just looks very thirsty to be back on. She is hurling any accusation that she can to stick to Karen just as her way to get back on to the show, because she knows that's the only way that she can. There's nobody else that she can really fight with other than Karen.
Mm-hmm.
That is really it. So I don't really
Yeah.
see the point. She doesn't really. One of my friends said it best. She actually doesn't really match the aesthetic of the cast. She is just not. Charisse is just not it for me. She's not, and we've seen Charisse is a dangerous person, I feel, especially with the dissolution of her friendship with Monique. We've seen that what happens is when Charisse is no longer friends with somebody, she then begins to spread and facilitate any rumor or anything that she ever hears about that person and damages their image, their reputation, everything. So what she's doing to Karen, it's not the first time that we have seen it. And it most definitely will not be the last time we will see it. And a person like that, you need to stay very clear away from. And Karen was smart to not pay her any mind.
Absolutely. That level of not being bothered was great to see from Karen's end.
Yes.
So yeah, with that, I think, she's probably going to be back the next season. Okay. All right, moving on.
I do want to touch upon the hypocrisy of Jezebel and Robert.
Damn, they go by pseudonyms now. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, are those pseudonyms? I'm so sorry. In my head, I'm joking. No, okay. So I do want to touch upon their hypocrisy and them trying so hard to shove Charisse down Karen's throat. So hard to, whether it was fake, make reconciliation happen, or just bring Charisse onto the scene. They really, really tried hard for this to happen. However, and they made a comment actually to Karen or somebody saying they don't think it's fair that Karen is not even acknowledging Charisse, because Charisse is a human being.
Oh.
Now I want to take out the name Charisse and I want to insert the name Wendy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I would love to insert the name Wendy. How is Giselle able to point to Wendy? This is the most disrespectful thing ever. Yeah. Point to Wendy and say, I don't like her. Yep. Not only did the producers allow her to say that and allow that to happen, but they also allowed it to be in the final cut of this episode. Mm-hmm. I'm through with these two. I am through. Any hope or any chance of them being somewhat desirable has completely gone out the window. I am through with these two women and their disgusting hypocrisy.
No, I completely agree. And I don't know, reality TV is really showing its full face. It's not like reality TV has ever been something that I've ever considered to be a constant, whatever. I'm going to cut that. But anyway, it's just ridiculous. I am over it. Like, I'm over them. But the one thing I do want to point out though, these women are old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, these women are old. And they are out here behaving like pubescent children. The behavior is just so abhorrent to me. Like, when you are an adult, you throw away childish things. And here we are holding on to childish behavior. I almost feel like it's insulting to children, because children are so much more kind than what we're seeing.
Mary, wow. I actually am shocked sometimes, because how do I say this? Okay, so in my, older years, if something happens, if I will do something wrong, I will, reflect on it and be like, okay, that's not right. That's actually kind of childish, or whatever the case. You know what I mean? Like, as a self-reflective, sound, intellectually, mentally, emotionally sound human.
Yeah.
You have those, introspective evaluations with yourself. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Meaning you have come to some sort of acknowledgement for the action or behavior or characteristic that you possess that's causing you to do whatever and whatever with normal human interactions.
Right.
It's amazing to me that these women, what scares me more than watching the pubescent behavior is the fact that there's no acknowledgement of that type of behavior.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lack of awareness. There's a lack of self-awareness that this is actually childish behavior.
Yep.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the excuse is it's just for reality TV. No, ma'am, and no, sir. seems to be how you are at this point.
No, like literally, remember when we used to have conversations concerning these women? I'm like, this is not like they're acting a scene, okay? Like they are not
No.
actors. And for me, it's
Well,
hard.
Ashley is.
Okay, yeah, well, maybe she is, I don't know. But like for me, it is hard to separate the behavior that I see on this show from who they actually are as individuals, right? Because what they're showing us is who they are. I honestly believe it. For me, as a grown woman, Giselle is nearing what 60 in the next 8 years. I think it is
5 actually. I think
or
she's like
5.
yeah.
Oh, really? Is she
she's
55?
like 54, 55, I believe.
She is nearing 60. That is the age. Some women are grandmothers by the age of 45, some of them, right?
Yeah.
Like you should have a level of wisdom that you should impart. And that's, that's one of the things I said. I said, I cannot believe that this woman was a first lady.
Oh, she's 52 actually.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe that she was a first lady. If you know first ladies and if you know the type of weight that they must carry in a congregation and praying for souls and things of that nature, I cannot believe that this woman used to be one. Now, maybe she was different back then than what she is today, but it's very hard for me to believe that she was one. Now, I understand why she is the last lady, because there's no way that she could be someone's first. I'm sorry. Like, this is scary. The lack of self-reflection, and at your age,
it's insane.
Who could come to you for points of wisdom? No one. Like, how can you still be behaving like a teenager? That's why, like, every time I've watched their behavior, it's like watching Mean Girls all over again for me. That's weird.
And it's so, oh my gosh, it actually broke my heart because I don't think Dr. Wendy's going to come back next season.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think so because the editors also gave her a terrible cut. Did you see the amount of times they literally, like, when the reunion, there are multiple cameras, right? I think like they have a group camera, multiple group cameras, and then each individual has their own like camera. It's catching their facial shots and reactions.
Mm-hmm.
How many times they edited one of Dr. Wendy's looks and insert it into like the wrong moment? Because I would watch when they would get the group shot. Sometimes it's kind of like an aerial view, somewhat of an aerial view of the entire group, and see when one person is talking. I would actually watch the reactions of others. I would watch Dr. Wendy's reaction, and she'll just be sitting there neutrally. Then they would pan to her, like zoom in on her face, and then she's giving some type of a weird look. And I'm like, that's not what she was just doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for some reason, it's unfortunate. It's highly unfortunate because I really, though I do not believe that Dr. Wendy should be on this show, because I do think that she is way better than what they are displaying. I think she should be on this show if they're actually going to display a lot better behavior, but they're not. So I don't think she should be on. I did not want this to be her last season because I wanted her to go out on a positive. You know what I mean? Not right now. It looks like the Mean Girls have pushed her out.
Yeah, it seems like the type of behavior that we see in like New Jersey, where if Teresa doesn't like you, you're gone, kind of thing. And I'm like, does Giselle have that type of pull where like if she doesn't like you, like all of a sudden that you're gone? What I want to say is that when Potomac was actually created, what we wanted to see, because reality TV, we see trash every single day on reality television. Yeah, we already see it, right? Yeah. Potomac was going to give us a little bit of a breather, right? Where we could see a different type of people, right? Who are educated, who have money, who have businesses, who have things going on for themselves, who hopefully would support each other, who would have a sisterhood, who knows, whatever, right? Wendy actually like exemplifies what that ought to like look like and to be, right? And so she is what Potomac, I think, in its inception wanted to be. And here we are seeing her just being pushed out and exited because Potomac is just trash. Like, it's literally trash. Yeah. So
and I think it disappoints me even more because with Potomac, and this is also very reflective of the DMV area, right? Yeah. With Potomac, what we are getting, what we should be getting are individuals that went to HBCUs, showing the intelligence within the Black community. Yeah. You know what I mean? The excellence that comes from these HBCUs. You have half the cast members belonging to D9 organizations, and the excellence that comes from there. The unfortunate part that we are getting is actual sorors battling each other.
Mm-hmm.
Actual sorors you're pointing to your soror, telling her,
Mm-hmm.
I do not like this woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she deserved to get the drink in her face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's so sad to watch. This is what we're getting. This
Yeah.
is what we get.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know. I don't know if Potomac will get me next season. I may give it one more season just to see if they could do better. But after that, I don't think so, because we're just going to continue to see more hypocrisy. To be honest with you, there seems to be a downward spiral in all housewives shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I was watching Atlanta yesterday. Bravo was on, was showing Atlanta, and I think this was season, I don't know. It's back when Portia and Nene and all of them were on.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, this was a cast of greats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like, this was a good cast.
Mm-hmm.
Though I did not like Cynthia, to have Cynthia, Candy, Nene, Portia, Kenya, and whoever else.
My girl. That's my girl.
But either way, this is a good cast. You know what I mean? Like, good they're able to bounce off of each other. And it's just funny. It's fun. They're having fun.
Yeah.
But then you look at the cast now, and I'm like,
random.
You have Drew Sidora running around with Ralph.
Random.
You have Marlo. Who knows what she's saying? You have Sheree, who is, I don't think she's interesting at all. So it's just, Housewives right now
her son
has
is so
just
fine.
gone downhill.
Her son is so fine. Her son, though, he is fine. Jesus.
Who?
Sheree's son. Have you ever seen him? Oh, he's so beautiful.
Oh, I've seen him. Oh, you think he's fine?
Yeah, he is. But I don't know what he's like in the brain. So I don't know. But he is beautiful.
I beg you. No, all right. So yeah, that's what's going on with Potomac. Can we talk about Andy?
Yeah, we can, and we should. All right. I think, for a long time, viewers have been screaming that Andy is just not fit for being the host of these reunions. Now, I don't know if it's a matter of ego as to why he needs to be in the middle of the seats in these reunions to ask these questions. But I think he should really think about it, considering what happened in Potomac with the reunions this season, because a lot of things that were said, he didn't know how to redirect, right? A lot of things that were spoken that really deserved a lot of time to unearth what the meanings of those things were. He didn't know how to actually pick the good side. But instead chose to say, well, okay, right? So he doesn't really have good facilitative skills at all. And I think that's a detriment, especially in reunions like this, where we do need reconciliation, but we really do need accountability, right? And Bravo has shown us that, they don't really care about accountability. Like, we are here for the mess. And no, it's just not appropriate. I just don't think that he has the skills. He doesn't have the skills to do this. And
he doesn't.
Yeah, it leads just to more yelling and more screaming versus actual real adult life conversation. Like,
yeah. He really is not able to also be impartial in these situations, and because of that lack of impartiality, he's not able to redirect the conversation. That reunion should not have ended with Dr. Wendy getting an apology.
What do you mean it should not have ended? You mean it should have ended?
No, it should not have ended. They should not have wrapped filming until either
she got an
Giselle,
apology. Okay.
Robin, or Mia. I don't care. Either all three of them, a combination of the 2, 3, 1, I don't care. Someone should have apologized to Dr. Wendy for that assault. It is not fair that Giselle continues to be able to say, I don't like this woman. And instead of giving an apology when you know and you have said that you believe that Mia was wrong. Mia should not be able to hurl an accusation at Dr. Wendy on top of the insult of throwing a drink in her face and trying to hit her with her purse. And also Andy says nothing about it. And I want to point something out because I actually wrote it down because I want to get the exact quote. On one of these episodes, I had shared that Andy has a cushioned response or approach to Giselle.
Yes,
and very
does.
direct response in his questioning with other people. So let me actually point this out. This is to Andy says to Ashley. He says, and I quote, "Ashley, you flip-flopped your stance on violence this season, period. Monique was more violent than Mia, and you defended her to the courts." And then did the flashback. Then Ashley gave her response. "Everyone came to Mia's defense. No one came to Wendy's defense, blah, 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 blah." Then Andy turned to Giselle. You see how he it was very direct. This is your question or statement. Respond. Then he says to Giselle, and I quote, "Let's move to Giselle. Your reaction to what happened in Miami seemed hypocritical, and the opposite of your reaction to what happened to Monique. So now you have Mia throwing a drink and hitting her with her purse. How is that different?" That's his question to Giselle. Now, when you ask that type of question, you're allowing Giselle to say it is different because a drink toss is different than Candace getting beat up and blah, 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 blah. You didn't give that option to Ashley. I'm not saying that the option should be there. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that this is problematic because you're giving her a way out. Then Andy says, "You're saying that Chris made you feel a certain way." Giselle says, "Yes." "Okay, listen to her. She felt a certain way." Talking about Wendy. "She felt a certain way. She got a martini thrown in her eyes. She felt violated. So," Giselle says, and I quote, "I don't like her, so it doesn't matter to me."
Yeah, and the fact that he couldn't follow up.
Look at his response. This is the one that I'm like, wow. He said, "I understand. But then, you know what? I don't know if that," while smiling, "I don't know if that will hold up in a court."
Yeah, I didn't even really understand that court statement that I was like, what? Okay. No, but I agree. Like his questioning is not direct with Giselle, like at all. He gives her softball. And so she's allowed to either not comment and say whatever the heck she wants to say. And then he's like, "Oh, okay." He doesn't push back. Because he doesn't want to push back with Giselle. Who knows what they have going on behind the scenes, but he doesn't want to push back with her. And I don't get it because his questions should all be about, like, for example, Mia, don't you think throwing the drink was wrong? And why haven't you still apologized to her yet? Like, we need like questions that are just going to just go at the meat of the situation and the problem and really dig deep here to tell these women that you guys got to behave like actual adults. Like you guys actually have to do stuff. But I agree with you wholeheartedly with Giselle, I don't know why there's such impartiality between
who knows
and her.
It makes no sense.
I don't get it, but she is allowed to do all of these things. Don't know why.
This is why I'm not like, I know a lot of like other podcasters and creators have been giving Andy credit for this reunion and really trying to like hold her feet to the fire. He didn't do that because he thought that if he throws in the word of hypocrisy there, that our ears will perk up and we will be like, "Yes, Andy, go." No, sir. I caught it. You're not going to get it past me, sir. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. The thing that I really do want to talk about is the Candace and Chris versus Giselle situation and Giselle's accusation. And now Chris has come out and Chris is asking her, "What did I do?"
Yeah.
And she's saying that you made me feel uncomfortable. And now I feel that they are giving Giselle an out by saying this is a game of semantics. Nope, it's not. It's not a game of semantics. And I need you guys to stop giving Giselle that out to be able to say, when they say, "Well, I think this is semantics," Giselle's like, "Yeah, it is semantics." Nope. hold her accountable. She knew exactly what she was saying. She knew exactly what she was doing. And now she looks dumb because she didn't even realize that the definition of did versus the definition of feel are different.
Yeah, exactly. She did not realize that. And I was just like, that there's a nuance in what you're saying. When you say that he did something to you, that obviously means that there was an action that he perpetrated that therefore caused discomfort to you,
exactly.
or in a way that really broke the barrier or the seal of protection that you had, or something of that nature. And he didn't do anything to you. Word for word, she says, he had a lot to drink, and that made me immediately uncomfortable. I'm like, at this particular point in time, you and Candace were friends. I have friends who are married, right? Their husbands are around me, whether their wives are downstairs in the room or not. How am I going to feel uncomfortable? And they're around me when they're drunk. And like, so how am I going to be feeling uncomfortable immediately when my friend's husband is going to be talking to me? She is absolutely insane.
This is dumb. I'm sorry.
But exactly, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. These reality shows have come to a point where we have individuals who are supposed to portray themselves as adult thinkers who are not adult thinkers. Their minds have not even developed fully and completely. And it's supposed to have, established itself at 25. But God, look at this. You're 52 and this is how you reason. This is how you reason. So it is not a game of semantics, because it is semantics in terms of like the words that she's saying and how, but what I'm saying is, but what I do agree with, what I do say is, and I agree with is, no, because it's a play on words that she's using here. That's what makes it semantics, right?
But the thing is,
but the situation is not a semantical one.
No, because this isn't something that's happening intentionally, right? So because I can twist my words right now and tell you, so sorry, it's semantics. So sorry, it's semantics. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is something that's happening intentionally because you know that it will work. The name of the game in reality TV is throw out labels to create implicit associations.
Yeah.
So we know that this is what she knows that she's doing.
No.
So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. I know, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because like in our spirit, in our heart, we're just kind of like, how can you just be this vile? So when Candace said that you are a soulless human being, I mean, is she wrong? Like, she's not wrong. Like you have no soul. For the fact that you could come up here and play my family and play with my husband and say
which
that
you
like
do
he did.
Oh my gosh.
Every season, it's always somebody's husband. It's like, okay, yeah, Jamal did something bad to you, but if you need healing, go to Jesus, right? If you need healing, go to therapy. If you need healing, get off of my television screen because you don't belong here, because what you are doing is you're bringing this very vile, almost succubus. Oh, I hate to say it, but like very vile, almost succubus type of energy. It's a demonic presence sometimes in my face. And it's kind of crazy.
Can I share this post with you? Someone sent this to me and I thought it was like, wow, this was really eye-opening. And it's a post on how Giselle used everyone's husband and or rumors as a storyline.
Yes.
Here we go. Season 1. Giselle spreads the Michael Darby grabbed Andrew's butt storyline. He did, but this was a memorable moment that shaped the Michael sexual assault pattern. Allegedly. Season 2. Charisse and Giselle are feuding because Giselle says Charisse was dating another man on Watch What Happens Live while she was going through a divorce. Season 3, Giselle accused Ray of wanting to sleep with her business partner and thought that's why Karen was so jealous of Everhue Beauty, her business that failed. Season 4, another Michael Darby incident that Giselle had to bring up in the group setting when the scene was already heated and threw Robin right under the bus. Also during the reunion, mentioned that a season 1 producer was assaulted by Michael Darby.
Yes, that was season 5.
Yep, season 5, the infamous Monique slept with her trainer and Chris isn't the father of her baby rumor that Giselle brought to filming. Season 6, after seeing Wendy's surgery transformation, brought the Eddie cheating and following booty models headline from the gossip blogs to filming. Season 7. Chris is accused of making Giselle uncomfortable when he asked to have a private conversation about the hostility Nikki was displaying towards Candace from season 6 reunion, which was brought up due to Ashley's DM of her friend's flirting claims.
Yeah, I think that but
that's
basically
Giselle's
says it.
time on the show.
That basically says it, and she can. And why is she still here? Why is she still here? Because she's pretty, or what? I don't understand. And I think it's actually a really sad life and sad situation where all you get, how you get through life is because you're beautiful, and you have nothing else to offer us. That is not great. So. No, all but right. I mean, that's a great synopsis of all of her storylines. And for anybody who's confused as to why we continue to ask, why she's still on the television screen. I'm
now you see, I just read it to you. Yep.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right. So I did want to dive in about Candace's comments to Giselle and her saying that Giselle's proximity to whiteness offers her the privilege to be able to say things like this and be believable over herself. And then as soon as she said that, here comes Ashley and Mia jumping in. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I just had a brain fart because I just literally thought to myself, wow, how unintelligent.
Yeah.
How unintelligent is Mia? How much more can she display that? So I just froze thinking that. But
when she had said the comment, I was like, "That's an incorrect sentence." It was an incorrect sentence, and I just was like, "I can't believe she just said it like that."
Please don't repeat it. I'm not. Okay. What I will say is, I'm actually not even going to dive in deeper to it. Here's what I will say is that I 1000% agree with Candace, and I stand behind her and stand behind that comment because it's something that is very true. It is not a dog whistle, and it is not anything that puts Giselle in danger in any way, shape, or form. Giselle has a privilege, and Giselle has a closer proximity to whiteness than Candace does. That's it. That's all with that. So what Candace said, there was nothing wrong with what she said at all because it's something that is true, and it's something that because Giselle dangerously is unaware of her privilege and lives in her privilege each and
unaware?
every single day.
She's not unaware.
I think that she is maybe unaware is not the word. I think that she's willfully ignorant of her privilege, but she also is able to somehow use it to her advantage. She's aware that she I don't know how to explain it. Whatever. She's stupid.
She knows she has a pedigree. She knows she light skinned. She knows all those things. She knows she can pass for white. She can. There's a time in American history where, when
Giselle
Robin came on the scene. You think so?
No, I don't think Giselle can.
Even with the green eyes, are her eyes even with the green eyes?
No, I don't think she can pass for white.
Okay,
I think Robin can.
Yeah, maybe Robin can more so than Giselle, but either way, they're as close to white as they can get on this cast, and so go ahead.
Yeah, so I 1000% agree with what Candace said. Sorry, I forgot what I was about to say, but I 1000% agree with what Candace said because it's something that's true, and I don't want Candace's message to be misunderstood here and be lost. Anger. And it is what she is saying is that you're afforded a privilege that makes that type of statement when you say it believable. Yes. Most especially with my husband, who is a white man, right?
Yes.
When someone like Candace makes that type of statement, it's not as believable, and she is not as protected as someone like Giselle is. She's not saying that Giselle is not a person that experiences oppression. That's not what she's saying.
Saying that Giselle is not a person that does not experience oppression.
Excuse me. Sorry. That does not experience oppression.
Right.
That's not what she's saying. She's not saying that Giselle is not a Black woman. That's not what she's saying. She's saying because you are a Black woman of a lighter hue, you are more acceptable and accepted in society. Your standards, your beauty standards match that of society's beauty standards.
There we go.
More so than mine. So because of that, you are believable. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate, and a lot of people online are saying Wendy did not really stand by Candace in that moment. I think Wendy may have had a different opinion as to how to say it. I think the first the first statement that Candace had made prior to her saying that like it is your proximity to whiteness. That second sentence explained what she meant when she said you and your white looking self, right? So I think Wendy gave her an opportunity to calm down and then also to explain further, right? Exactly what she meant, which she was able to kind of expound on a little bit more, which is a good thing. Now, with that said, for those of us who don't really understand colorism, I mean, it's not necessarily our jobs to teach y'all about, you know, the way in which colorism plays, but I want you guys to kind of take a look at the fact that like Giselle does have a lot closer of a proximity to whiteness. Colorism is something that happens under the umbrella of racism. And what we see here is that colorism in and of itself has come towards a community, which is the Black community. And what it has done, it causes division, right? The division that we are seeing and that we're seeing parsing out here on the Real Housewives of Potomac show is exactly what I was talking about when I'm saying that how it reared its ugly head, right? Mm-hmm. There is no way colorism benefits the Black community, right? Mm-hmm. There is no way in which it actually uplifts the Black community. What it does is actually create more of a fracturing, mm-hmm. right? And the difference here is what Candace's statement alludes to is what has been going on foundationally, historically in this country in regards to Black people and our complexions. Yeah. Right. So Giselle being able to say what she said and standing on what she's saying, she is actually much more believable because you have situations where, let's say if Giselle was an actual white woman, mm-hmm. if an actual white woman said this comment, mm-hmm. they've been touted to be this docile creature that mm-hmm. needs saving, that they're mm-hmm. more believable because they are the standard. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If an actual white woman said this comment, my God, the mm-hmm. things that would have happened. And also, let's also think about it. If Chris had been a Black man.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I was waiting for you to say that there.
Black man, the difference in the meaning of the statement, oh, you made me feel uncomfortable, mm-hmm. what that would have done.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of nuance. I mean, like there's incredible nuance in the situation of what's happening here. So Giselle being able to stand 10 toes down on saying the comment and saying like, oh, well, you did something wrong to me. And her proximity to whiteness. If it was Candace who had said, oh, he made me feel uncomfortable, how many of us out here would have actually believed her? Right. So the difference is that as fair-skinned as Giselle is and her saying this comment, she's given a level of credence, mm-hmm. right? She's given a level of credence in this culture, in society, in which if it was Wendy who said it, she wouldn't be given that credence, right? Mm-hmm. And it's all truly based on this complexion system that has been created and parsed down by racism. Like, so, mm-hmm. But that's as much as I'll say on it. For those of us who really truly understand sociology, who truly understand psychology, who understand racism, understand institutionalized racism, and all of the things that have come because of that, that have been birthed because of that, you can understand Candace's statement. You can understand exactly what she means, and it's very clear. If Candace's husband had been Black, like, I mean, my God, like, that statement would have ruined him. Chris is lucky that he is white, right? Exactly. Like, he is so lucky that he is white because this statement is not going to ruin him as much as he's, lost some businesses and he doesn't want to be associated with it. It's not necessarily going to ruin him. But the problem is that Giselle, in her lack of understanding between the words, what you did to me and how you made me feel. Yeah. My goodness, you layered an assault upon an individual who did absolutely nothing to you. And here we are in a society where the viewers are getting more angry at Candace's statement than getting more angry at Giselle's
and it's
commentary.
literally
playing into the whole
so ironic.
That's literally playing into the whole colorist conversation that we're talking about. Why are we giving more credence to this person who literally tried to ruin a man's life?
Yep.
literally tried to do that. And then we're looking at Candace's statement as if she's a spawn of the devil. She is not she's not the spawn of the devil. She is saying very clearly, if you had been any other person who had said this and you were not as close to whiteness as you are, this would have probably been a different situation. But because you are so close to whiteness, it gives you the ability to be like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, I'm not wrong. I mean, countless decades of crime against people have been made and have been done because of comments like what Giselle has said.
I mean,
think about it.
We have seen, Lord, we have seen this play out time and time and time again. When you think of the exonerated five, I'm not going to call them the Central Park Five, the exonerated five. It's quite literally because of this situation, right? Situations of sexual misconduct, mistaken identity. Like these are things that are very, very dangerous that persist because of these subconscious and foundational isms that we have at play. So Giselle, I don't know if you are just not aware of these things or if you choose to turn a blind eye. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with her. And I just pray for you.
That's all we can do. But at the end of the day, again, that's why if this show doesn't have a different moderator to help,
they're not going to. And it's just...
it's going to be, it allows, and that's the thing also, this is also allowing Giselle to live in this fantasy land of, oh, I can do and say anything. Yeah. And I can get away with it. And audience, that is dangerous.
It's very
dangerous because Candace can't get away with anything she says. And it's not because of, how she delivers it. And it's like, okay, her delivery sometimes, not even all the time, I'll say like maybe 5% of the time, doesn't she have a right to be angry? Doesn't she have a right? Doesn't she have that right to have the level of vitriol that she has against this woman that she once thought that she knew that was a friend to her, but now she's really seeing her true colors? She has every right, right? Her statement was not really truly inflammatory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was true. And it was direct.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's sad. It's honestly sad to watch, sad to see. But either way, I really do hope for the love of all that is good and merciful in this world that this next season,
I'm not watching.
I really hope that some people actually do some reading and some research and check themselves. I don't think that's going to happen, but I really, really do hope that it happens because it's very harmful to watch people take down other people in this way. We just had someone in our comments on TikTok saying that Black women don't like light-skinned women. I mean, ignorant things, complete ignorant things that people are saying. And this is 2023, where you think that most especially after summer of 2020, I thought people actually, and I'm not talking about white people, I'm specifically talking about those within the community that have some internalized, racist views. I thought people would wake up a little bit, do some research and have an understanding of exactly what's going on. But it's unfortunate because people are not doing that. And it's not my job to teach anyone anything. I'm happy to have a conversation about anything, but we also have to have the same fundamental understanding of the things that are actually happening and acknowledgement of dynamics that are at play in order for us to have a conversation, be able to move forward. Outside of that, I won't do that. So I charge anyone you have the urge to comment something and say something ignorant. I charge you to please before you do so, do some research first on exactly what colorism is, how bias plays a role and has space in this conversation, the historical events that took place in this country, within the community, and so on and so forth, that cause us to say why racism is still at play, colorism is still at play, and so on and so forth. Please do that research before you do make a comment, because I am only going to operate on the understanding that you and I have the same level of knowledge. And if we don't, then we can't have a conversation. Okay? All right.
think
So
Diana has said her piece.
that's I'm done with that, and I'm happy that this reunion is over. We were going to talk about Robin. I personally don't want to talk about Robin because I think what's the point?
No, there's no point. All I want to say is Ebony K. Williams' face that entire time. That was all of us.
I'm actually so mad at her. I don't even want to like buy what your face is because you sat there when Andy gave you a chance to actually say something. You decided you agreed. Yeah, goodbye, girl.
Like, girl.
You disappointed me in that moment for all that you stand for.
Did. Girl, bye. Attorney girl as she is, and so yeah. I know I was sad about that, but she wanted the mess. She wanted the mess. She wanted the mess, and it's not good. But no, there's not much to say about Robin. We wish you the best of luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Yes. So what should a takeaway be from this season of Potomac? What do you think that maybe as viewers of the show, we should be taking away from the behaviors that we saw?
Let me think about it a little bit.
Yeah. I think that like, as you're thinking about it, one of the things that I was thinking about is if anyone from my choir is watching, they probably know exactly what I'm about to say. Consistency and equity. That is my big thing. Yeah. I cannot stand people that are inconsistent. I also want to say that does not mean that I do not believe in evolution. That does not mean that I do not believe in growth. I absolutely believe in those things, right? But I also don't like when people are able to, in one breath, talk out of both sides of their neck and both sides of their faces. I think that these women really struggle with self-reflection. And that's why you're able to have Robin say things like, oh, well, I didn't bring up my situation with Juan because I thought Karen was going to bring it up. If that's not one of the dumbest things that I've heard, then I don't know what is.
Does that mean that Karen knew?
Everybody knew. That's Karen put sauce on the rumor that she heard.
Okay.
Essentially, that's what happened. She put sauce on it, but they all knew.
Yeah.
Because Candace said, I heard about this rumor. Wendy said, I heard about this rumor. So Robin, instead of sharing your real life, you want to wait for your castmates to bring it up. That makes no sense whatsoever. So I urge Robin, Giselle, all those people, hold yourselves accountable to the things that you hold other people accountable to. The same way that you're asking Karen to acknowledge Charisse, acknowledge Wendy. Treat her like a human being. Treat them the way that you would want your children to be treated, not yourselves, because I don't think that there's a lot of self-love there. So forget yourself, but the way that you would want your children to be treated. Stay consistent, stay equitable, and good night.
That's a good one. For me, a couple of days ago, I was just thinking about the whole entire situation that's been happening, especially with, my sister, Wendy. I love you, Wendy. Yes. Listen, we are here for you. There's something known as right is right, wrong is wrong. This whole entire season, right is right, wrong is wrong. That's the one thing I just want everybody to take away from it. You have to have a moral compass that guides you, right? And we've seen that these women had no moral compass. There was nothing guiding them in terms of how they're going to treat another human being. And what is right, and what is wrong is wrong. The assault that happened on Wendy was wrong. Completely.
Simple.
And still to this day, no apology.
Nothing.
From any of the women and how they banded together like wolves to come against her.
To take her down. Yeah.
And to take her down. And they think they may succeed in the fact that she's probably not coming again next season, but they didn't succeed. Wendy has gained a large fan base. Wendy has gained a level of popularity from being on this show and really parsing out and showing us who she is and how she's trying to develop and become. She will forever be successful because there is favor on her, and favor isn't fair. And that is what you're jealous of. The favor on her life is there, right? Yeah. Now, and then also in terms of being at the ages that, we all are, every single day we're all getting older, and every single day we are gaining new experience. those new experiences should really be informing us on how we ought to like change course, redirect ourselves, in how we are going to move on in life and how we're going to treat people from here on out.
Yep.
If I can, those are basically the two things I want us to take away from this situation is that, one, we need to have a moral compass. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And number two, truly and understandably be reflective individuals who really take in the experiences in life and you need to gain greater wisdom.
Absolutely.
Right? Gain greater wisdom. Because what these women showed us I appreciate actually seeing this is because I hope that people are learning what not to do, right? What not to do. Assault, rumors, things that you're hearing, like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And just bring your authentic self.
Simple.
And if people find you boring, so be it. If people find you exciting, so be it. Just bring yourself, because we are humans. We are not perfect, but the imperfection is what makes us connect to each other. So,
all right,
that's it.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, everybody. That is it for Potomac season 7. We will probably not see Potomac for some time or hear about Potomac. I mean, unless they're doing, stupid things on, in the off season like they have been. But other than that, we're done with Potomac. Well, so we may not forever. I'm gonna give them one more season. No, I'm giving them one more season.
Not if the same cast is gonna return again. Like,
I'm gonna give them one more season, some redemption.
There's redemption after this.
I hope so.
Redemption?
Because what if they come next season? What if Dr. Wendy does come back and they come back apologizing, saying we were still wrong?
Well, that apology really has to be authentic, because there's no way in my, I just think that the Real Housewives of Potomac women, especially Giselle and Ashley, they have too much of an awareness of the camera. Yeah. They have too much of an awareness. So when you have that much of awareness of the camera in your face, you can't be real. You can't be authentic. You have to almost forget that the cameras are circulating around you. In order for us to see who you are. So if they apologize to Dr. Wendy, I would say that was for the cameras. It would not be from their heart. It would not be authentic. It wouldn't be.
Alrighty.
Robin's hatred for Wendy is authentic, in my opinion, and it's stupid, but it's authentic. Right? But so I wouldn't see her being able to, any of them being able to apologize. And if Giselle apologizes, then you're going to see Charisse apologize. And it's just like, what are we, like, following Mother Goose? Are we not women who know how to think on our own? Like, what?
Yeah.
It's stupid. Well, ask your question. It'll be like a little blooper.
Okay, I guess my question is, why are Charisse and Wendy beefing? Because as far as I knew, season 5, Charisse actually came to Wendy's sip and see. Sorry, and I use quotes because, it's a baby dedication, but whatever. So yeah, she came to Wendy's sip and see, but she just was not filmed because she obviously wasn't part of the cast then. So why, what's the beef now? Or we know it's association beef, but I can't, whatever. I don't care. We're done. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes.
We really appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We really hope that this meets you well. Again, let us know your thoughts in the comments with having the same foundational understanding of what colors is.
Yes.
Comment if you don't have that understanding. You just want to spew out ignorance and hate. We are not for that. We stand for love, peace, kindness, all of that.
And therefore, good communication. Good communication.
Effective
communication.
Yes. So thank you, everybody, for listening in. And we hope that you have a great one until next time. Bye.
All right. Bye.